G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Now today I am going to try the fairy flower with the Let's Resin. Resin. Let's grab a bottle. There we go. This is one I'm using. It's 1:1. It's just the regular. It's not the deep. It's not the fast cure. It's just the regular. So yeah, I'm going to see if... Let's pop that back. I want to see if the fairy flower will work. Now, with I've been doing a bit of research into the CPS of a resin, which is the viscosity. Still learning about it. CPS is the centipoise, apparently. So water would be a 1 centipoise, and like a really thick product, like an oil or a honey or something, you know, is tens of thousands of centipoise. So Art Pro is about 600 by Resin Pro. Ultra Clear by Platinum is about 800 CPS. Let's Resin is about 1500 CPS. Now, when I searched Ultracast by Elichem, their data sheet actually said 15,000. So it doesn't feel that thick. So I don't know whether it's just a typo and it's supposed to be 1500, but yeah, it said 15,000, which is really thick. But I don't see any difference between the Let's Resin, this one, and the Ultracast, Ultra Clear. Oh gosh, there's so many now. What is it called? Ultracast XL. So yeah, anyway, I don't know. So today I'm going to go with some purples and reds, and I'm going to try my colours a little bit darker and blend them really well. I don't want that spiral that I normally get. So I've got my white in there. It's my bloom. It's pretty, I should have shown you, it's pretty opaque. And then I've got more of my bloom in here. It's more transparent. It's got about half the amount of drops that one does have. And then, yeah, we're going with the Holbein. We have got Dioxazine Violet. We have got Quinacridone Magenta. And then I had this Naphthol Red Deep, and it was a little bit too not that deep. So I put a tiny bit of black pigment paste in there from Let's Resin. So those are my colours. I'm not really happy with that one. It's kind of gone a bit burgundy because of the black, but anyway, it's done. Now my mould. Look at my new mould. I made this. This is my large rock edge mould. Oh, those puppies, they want to come out and play. Let me just shut the door. I'll go and play with them when I've finished here. All right, so we're going to do a dirty pour. So I'm going to do, I don't know, 3 or 4 layers. Got some purple. See how dark they are? Still transparent though, but darker. Because my favourite one, I probably shouldn't have been testing this with a resin, I don't know. But my favourite one that I did, the fairy flower, I used quite dark colours and it was just gorgeous. I really don't like when I get that spiral. And you've heard me say it before, I don't like the spiral in the fairy flower. And sometimes I don't have my colours dark enough and I end up with like a pastel-y looking spiral, and yeah, just not happy with it. So I'm going to try with some darker colours, as in more ink, more drops of the ink, like, I don't know, like 10 drops or something like that instead of my usual. So we're going to see how that goes. It's different for every colour and it's different for every brand. I find I have to use more drops for a yellow. Yellows and pinks, they need more, like almost double, I reckon. I don't know whether the amount of ink maybe changes the outcome of when the white hits it. I don't know. Alright, put all that in there. So I've probably got, when I finish, I've got about half a cup here of half of my little tiny cup. It's like a little shot glass thingy. It's very cute. All right, the rest of it going in, and then just try and prevent that spiral. I'm going to mix, well, not really mix, I'm just going to give this a nice little stir. A little stir. Look at my hands. Just so I've got gloves on, hey. Messy. Inks are messy. All right, I'm going to give it a good stir. We'll do some figure eights. What was that, about 3 or 4 figure eights? Something like that. All right. Now, hopefully I won't get like too much of a spiral. Maybe not. Yeah, it just looks very red. It looks red. I can't see anything else apart from red. I mean, I knew I was going to get that. But I am hoping that once the white hits that red and purple and kind of, what's the other one? Like a wine, port wine colour, I guess. I'm hoping that the white will, you know, sort of change the colours a little bit. If it doesn't work in the Let's Resin, I guess you won't even see the video. But if it doesn't work, I'll do another video. Just tapping this to get the bubbles up. I'll do another video with the Art Pro because I know that'll work, and I'll use these same colours because I really, really want to do one in these colours. Okay, so there we go. That's that done, and then I've got some red and some silver little crushed glass or metal or whatever it is. I don't think it's glass. I think it's more like a little metal chips to go in the center. Hopefully that will look nice. All right, here we go. Snip the top off. Not too much. Don't snip it over there. Oh, it's probably about 4 or 5 millimeters wide. Test it first. And if you need it bigger, you can make the hole a tiny bit bigger. But I think you're probably better off having it a bit smaller, and then you can squeeze with your thumb if you need to. Like so. So I'm just, as I'm dropping it down, I'm squeezing with my thumb. And around we go. Feel free to fast forward if you don't want me to, don't want to watch me doing drops. So yeah, I don't know if this resin's going to work. I did test this resin, the Let's Resin resin. I did test it when I was doing dragon flowers, and it actually worked quite well. I don't know whether I've actually put a video up of it, but I was testing it, and I should do a video of a dragon flower. Because I was doing the Larimar, then I did the dragon flower, now I'm doing the fairy flower. But yeah, it actually worked really well. So I will get back into the dragon flowers, and I'll show you how you can do them with Let's Resin if anyone's interested. Because sometimes you can't get or can't afford, you know, all the resins that people are using. So it's nice to have an option of something else that works. I found that the only resin that worked for the Larimar, though, for me, was the thinner resin, which was the Platinum Ultra Clear. It's a thinner resin. Now these dots in the center, see how they look bigger? Because they're not actually spreading. These ones here are spreading, but these ones in the middle are not actually spreading, so they look bigger, but they're the same size. The others are just spreading. Okay, now I'm going to go in between each of these, and then I'll come around again and go behind all of these. And you can see already what I mean about the white taking on the colour. You can see that I've got shadings of, there's the pink, there's the red, there's the purple. So I'm hoping that it'll look pretty on the other side. But look, I really don't know if it's going to work at all. Could be a big waste of my time and energy and resin and inks and money. I don't know. All right, now I'm going to go behind all of these, between those last 2 drops I just did. That's, again, it's going to be pushing or forcing all the resin, all these dots to go forward. Trying to get them behind there. Oh, the center's pretty much closed up, hasn't it? That's all right. We're going to pour some white over that in a minute. So by me dropping these drops or dripping the drops along the edge there, it's pushing all that resin into the middle. Like so. And then I think I'll just do one more row wherever there's a little gap. And then I think that'll be enough. Sometimes I can overdo my dots. It's hard to stop. You've got resin in your little bag and you think, oh, I'll just keep going and using it, but you don't have to. You don't have to use it all, all right? You don't. She says as she keeps going. Well, it's a big mold. It holds, oh, did I tell you what I mixed? 115 grams of part A and 105 grams of part B is what I did. All right, I think that'll do. I'm going to leave it. You don't have to use everything that you've got, okay? You don't. Give that a bit of a torch. There's only so much area that that white can go. So you don't want to use too much of it. All right, now the rest of this, it's feeling a little bit warm, on the warm side. Okay, now we're just going to find the middle and try and drop it in as fast and hard as you can. Like so. All right, that is done. I'm going to clean off all my sticks. So, yeah, I don't know how long this is going to take to close up. You know, it's like I said, it's a thicker resin. I'm going to get my heat gun out and help it along. Just kind of pushing from the sides. There's a little bit more room still left in my mold here. I could have put more in. All right, and around and round and round we go. I think that'll do. Hey, just warm it a little bit. Get it moving, get it closing up. Put my heat gun back. I've got these little hooks along the side of my, on the side of my bench here, and I hook my tools on. And I've got a power board under the table as well. There's a shelf under my bench. So I can hook them there. All right, now let me get my gloves off. I need to reuse them though to clean up all my sticks, but I don't want to have little bits of stone sticking to sticky resin gloves when I do this. Now, do I want a mixture of... do I want a mixture? Let's just pop some in here. Oh, that's too many. I don't know whether it's the right shade of red, but never mind. Just going to mix these a little bit. There's a huge shard in there. Look at that. Yeah, I need to buy myself some new glass glitter. I'm a bit low on it. I want some nice bright colours, you know, that I could put in there, like a purple. I don't have purple, but I've got some of these, which, you know, are fine, but they're not very bright. I don't even know if that's going to look nice in there. Anyway, it is done. It's done. Right, let's just poke them in there. Sometimes it's easy to use your fingers, unless you get a tiny little spoon like this. I find the big spoons, it runs off the sides, and then you end up with stones where you don't want stones. Just got to be really careful when you're carrying it over that you don't drip it anywhere it's not supposed to be dripped. It's quite a big coaster, so I think it can handle a bit of extra stone. But just remember, when it hits the base there, it's going to spread out. So I'll keep that. All right, so that's it done. And look, it's closed over. It actually looks the same as what a fairy flower would look. I better put that back in there. Like when I use the Art Pro. You're not moving, are you, Stones? Where are you going? I can feel you down there. Okay. Yeah, so it looks very similar. Like it's closed over. It's very exciting. Hope it works. Wouldn't it be nice if we had another resin that worked? Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Just going to leave that. I'm going to let it sit for about 2 hours, and then I'm going to put it into my curing machine. That way I can unmold it real soon. Look at these edges. Don't you just love these edges? It's my rock edge. Oh, it's the first time I've used this big one, so I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like. All right, I'm going to go and have a coffee, sit with my puppies, let them have a play, and I will see you all real soon. Gosh, I hope it works. Please work, please work, please work. See you soon. Okay, guys, it's cured. I've redone my nails while I was waiting. All right, here we go. Still a bit soft on the edges because I've just got it out of my curing machine. Too impatient to wait for curing naturally. That I am. Now, do we think that the Let's resin is going to work? I'm not really that hopeful. It's a much thicker resin. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Okay. It did work. It's got a bit of puffiness in the center there, but it actually worked. Wow. I was really not holding out much hope for that. I really wasn't. Kind of lost all my purple. But, you know, when you're using a purple and sort of 2 shades of red, I guess you're going to get more red than anything. It's really hot. It's quite hot still. Oh my gosh. All right. And I got a little bit of white in the tips there. That is so cool. You guys, if you can't get the, you know, the other resins that I've been using, this one's a really good alternative. I'm thinking maybe I should have just put more dots in. Because this resin's so much thicker, I'm thinking it needs more dots, like to really push it in and close it up. Especially when you're tipping that white in at the end, it kind of pushes all away. So yeah, that's really good for a first attempt. I'm happy with that. Don't really like my colour choices in there. I'm going to go and have a look and see what I can put on the top of this. I know you probably don't want to see stickers and things anymore, but they look really nice on some of them. Let me just go and find something. Okay, so you've seen these little foils before. They're not stickers. It's just a foil. That's got some purple and some gold on it. You could pop that in the middle. Yeah, it's okay. I kind of like the stones and things. I've got this purple glitter that I'm thinking might look nice. Might actually do a top coat. But what I like to do first is I like to add a little bit of the glitter first. Oops, now you're too close. Just to see what it's going to look like. So what I'll do is I put a little bit on there. Just spread it out, because when you do your top coat, you're not going to have a thick layer of glitter. It's only going to be a very thin layer. Otherwise, it's going to be poking out through your, through your top layer of resin. So it's only going to be thin. Tiny bit more. And I can still see the original chunky glass or stone or whatever it is through the bottom there. So I'm okay with that. And I'm leaving it so I can kind of see these bigger petals kind of poking through. I like that too. So all I can suggest is that you play around with some glitters and things and see what you like the look of, and then just do your top coat like that. And if you wanted to, you could put some gold around the edge. I don't think I will. I just like it like that. I do. Let's go for a little walk and have a look at that in some better light. And then I can see what I want to do with it. I mean, it was still fine the way it was. Now with that slightly bigger, I'm trying to pick it up, with that slightly bigger center. But I think this will just be a little bit nicer. And I'll hold it that way with the purple on top. So there you go. So basically this was just an experiment to see if I could get a nice effect with the Let's Resin resin. And I'm really impressed. Squeaky floor. Really impressed. I'm just going to go around here. Let's check out the colours. And we've actually got really pretty petal, a pretty petal design there. So yeah, really happy with that. Can't complain. I've had worse centers with different resins. But yeah, as I said, I think the thicker resin, like the Let's Resin 1:1, I think it's going to need more highly pigmented white to make it heavier and more drops. Because with the thinner resin, your white, because it's heavier, it just kind of drops straight down. Whereas with the thicker resin, the white sort of remains more, I can't think of the word now. It stays in the resin more. It's kind of like floating in there. So we need a lot more of it with the thicker resins than we do with the thinner resins, if that makes sense. So I will keep playing with this because I'm almost out of my Art Pro. But yeah, it's great to know that it works. So let me know what you think of it. I'm really happy with it. I even like the colours. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone. I'll see you for the next video. Bye for now.